What is up, Legion? What is up, heathens? Rev Avi here, checking in live for the Magic Quarantine Talk. What's up, people? I am here. Of course, I'm going to give people a few minutes to check in here, and then we're going to get started, like we always do. We'll jump this off, and hopefully we can have an interesting dialogue, and we're going to talk about all our favorite topics. Magic, the occult, demons, all that good stuff, right? And try to bring some clarity to those of you out there that are interested in this topic as well, okay? So I'm going to give people a few minutes to get on here. Of course, if you're watching this on YouTube, please hit the button. Please drop a comment. Please subscribe and check us out. If you haven't been on the website, it's demonism.org. Okay, check us out. Awesome place to get information. I've got lesson courses on there. A whole lot of great stuff is available to you on the website, okay? And for those of you that are here in our Facebook group, if you want to get in on our text chat, we got like a mass text chat going on Facebook. Drop a comment and we'll get you in there. And then join us on Discord for the voice chat, okay? Everybody has a voice on there, not just me. So with that said, let's see who's on here. I'll take a few minutes, try to get my comments going. Okay, there we go. But yeah, so hopefully everybody's having a good day today. It is Wednesday, Wicked Wednesday. What's going on, people? So I had a couple topic suggestions, but I wasn't sure that they were, really worthy of bringing to the live. But I'm going to go over them anyway, since we didn't really have one that was like, wow, I'm going to talk about that one specifically. I'll go over the one of the topic suggestions that was suggested from a member. Hang on, I'm trying to get my phone going as well, so I could tag some folks myself. But and that was the Dark Night of the Soul. Okay, somebody asked about like the Dark Night of the Soul. It's a very right hand path like concept, but I will go over that and what it is and sort of break that down a little bit for you, and then we'll go into some other stuff. Okay, but give me just a minute and let's see if we can get some folks on this live chat tonight. Okay, hang on just a second. But yeah, so normally when people bring up Dark Night of the Soul, it's like such a right hand path concept that I don't like to even engage it. Okay, with our study, I try to keep a lot of the like religious, angelic, all that sort of stuff. I try to get away from that as much as possible. And I think that that's important. I think that it's important that we all sort of step away from that and, make our own space, make our own understanding as we continue to try to grow this thing. Okay. That's super duper important. And, if we're going to try to build something that's new, create something that's different, then we can't keep standing on the foundation of the things that are oppressing us. And, that mindset and that structure is definitely one of them. Okay. So I try to stay away from that as much as possible and lean more towards realism and science and stuff like that. Okay. So that's my way of thinking. That's my approach to magical study, to occult study, to all of this sort of thing. Okay, is to take the approach of realism and logic. I know everybody's like, he keeps looking down. I'm trying to work my phone and be on live at the same time. Okay, because I do not have help today. I'm doing it all myself. All right. So that's the important thing, is to try to take the approach of realism and understand what the true goal is, what your true goals are with studying this stuff. Okay, and so the Dark Night of the Soul is this mindset that you can. Okay, and I'm gonna stop tagging people so I can really pay attention. So the Dark Night of the Soul is the concept that you can go through this thing where you cut off spiritually, right? Severed spiritually or something like that. And I don't believe in that. I don't like to take that approach. I think that that's silly. I think that everybody can have some sort of spiritual like damage occur, but that also the soul can very much heal. Okay. And you have a way of growing beyond those things. Even if it's something really, really terrible, you can still learn to heal and get past whatever that trauma is. Okay, and so that's the thing that becomes really important in your work. So I don't really engage that line of thinking at all. So if we're talking about applying this stuff that we're practicing in a real sense, in the sense of realism, then how do we begin to do that? You begin to do that by incorporating the things from your pantheon, your spiritual study, into your everyday life. Okay, and I get in that in detail in my book Demonism. And this book I just published. It's a newer one. For those of you that don't know, this goes over how to apply the aspects of the Citra Aura in real life situations for real life goals and accomplishments that you want to face. The book itself is actually set up in such a way that you learn about the various aspects of the Citra Aura while learning the techniques that I teach in our practice structure here. Okay, so you're using the mesmeric techniques, and you're learning about that stuff, but it's also structured around learning the various aspects of the Citra Aura, which is super duper awesome. And for those of you that don't know what the Citra Aura is, okay, that stands for the other side, right? That's the tree of death is another name for it, what people like to call it. But this just stands for the other side, the tree of actually the ancient gods, if you know its true history, or the true history of the demons, as they are the ancient gods. A lot of the demonic aspects, of course, taken from right hand path studies, is actually ancient pagan deities that they have warped and decided to demonize. That's their word. It's a negative connotation towards those things. In that sense, the word daemon had no negative connotations attached to it. In the beginning, this is something that they added later in history, if you actually know what's going on there. Okay, this is a huge manipulation sort of thing that happens throughout time. Okay, so the truth be told is the tree of the Citra Aura, or the other side, has those ancient deities attached to it, and I show that very clearly, that connection, and a lot of the other things attached to it in my book, Demonism, which is available for those of you that want to purchase. I will post a link for you. Okay, so yeah, I stay away from the right hand path concepts as much as possible. Even in studying things like the Tree of Life and stuff like that, I don't attach any of the angelic or stuff to the tree at all. I stay away from that completely. I work solely with the planetary aspects of the tree on both the night and day side of the tree. Okay, so I break down the way that I understand it, the way that you can start to apply it without using any of that angelic undertone within your magic whatsoever. Okay, so that's really interesting, and that's a great way to start to adapt this for people that want to take the left-hand path approach instead of just the religious approach to the study of this stuff. Okay, and so there's not a lot of authors out there that do the realism, even on the left hand path. And Steven was ranting about this in his live. Even on the left hand path, you still got people that are like attached to the right hand path believer like mindset, and we're supposed to be the opposite of that. Okay, and that's super duper important. Okay, that's a very very important aspect. Okay, so with that said, I'm gonna check and see if there's some people on here. If you are on here, please drop a comment or hit the like button so I can see you are there, because I do not know if my Facebook comments are lagging or not. Okay. Also, tomorrow, Britt's going to do a live. So be sure to check in for that. She's going to do a live tomorrow at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. So it's an hour before this live. So if you guys are used to checking in on my lives on Wednesday and Fridays, check in tomorrow to actually do a live with my wife, Bran, and hear what she's got to say. She's going to break down some aspects of working with self-care and depression. And what's up, Dion? So yeah, of course, tag some people if you're friends with them in the group and stuff like that, so they can get on this live as well. But yeah, so she's going to do a live tomorrow. Check in at 8 p.m. to catch her live also. So yeah, the way that I like to study magic is I always take it from the aspect of realism and science first. I don't come from the aspect of a believer, even if there's strange phenomena going on around me. Okay. And I'll tell you something that's going on right now that we're kind of dealing with, and that's weird banging and noises around the house. And my daughters are complaining about it, and Brittany's experiencing it. And we were just sitting right here, and I did a little test. I broke out my little stick and I started banging. I'm like, well, if you're banging, bang back at me. Bang once for yes, twice for no. You guys know me, so I instantly go to question the thing. And so I was getting no response, no response, no response. And then something weird happened and I got a response. And that weirded him out. So we're dealing with something like that on a personal level. And I'm like, well, we don't really know if it's spirits. We can't just say it's that first. Let's check and see if the noise is coming from somewhere else. Is it an animal? Are the kids kicking the wall in the other room secretly and we don't know it? So I always take that route before I'm like, okay, this is something that's unexplainable. And that's the approach that I think is important to have with all of your magical study is the aspect of realism, right? We can't just come in and say, okay, I just believe in this because I want to believe in it. If we're going to have something that's practical and works, then we need something that is practical and actually functions and works. Okay. So with that said, guys, I've been talking somewhere in the 16 minutes range. I see some people jumped on here late and stuff. But from the beginning, some of the things that I covered in this live where I was talking about, the dark night of the soul and that sort of right-hand path concept of the dark night of the soul. And how I just don't even adhere to that because things that can get damaged can all heal, right? We're human beings, our bodies can heal. We have the ability to do that even on the spiritual level. So if you go through some, huge trauma or something like that, you can always heal from those things. And they shouldn't be something that constantly that you think is something that severs you spiritually from ever reaching attainment. Okay, that concept is complete bullshit. There's always room for growth. And so if you feel like you've got some kind of negative karma, this is that concept of like a karma, right? If you feel like you have some type of negative karma in your past or something like that, there's always room to grow past those things and heal to reach true spiritual attainment. Okay, because and I was talking about this in the group chat as well, and I mentioned this in the beginning. But if you guys aren't in our mass group chat, it's a text chat here on Facebook. Drop a comment and we'll get you in there so you can see what we're talking about. But that's a huge part of this is understanding that it's about that spiritual growth and about being able to bring it all to the realm of physical things that you actually do. Okay, that's important. Is bringing it all to the realm of the real. This has to be something that affects your life. Okay, and the lives of others, and it's not just something that we believe in. Okay, but one thing we were talking about specifically in that chat, another thing is outside of like the Dark Night of the Soul and stuff like that was brought up was alchemical and I can't remember, I think this was Sean that brought this up, was talking about like alchemical magical work or alchemical the alchemical process of like adapting your magic. That's what that is. Okay, so when people talk about spiritual alchemy, okay, that's what they're talking about, is being able to not only have a belief, but have a belief that is so practical you can apply it to your real life. Okay, and that's the stuff you learn about in my new book, Demonism. That's what I teach you, is how to take those aspects of the Citra Aura. We're talking Lucifer, Lilith, Samael, Belphegor, all the different demons and the various aspects of the tree, Venus, Moon. What does all that stuff mean? And then how do you apply it to your life? Okay. If you can't reach that point, then it's just stuff that's mumbo jumbo. If it doesn't affect your life on a real level, then you're missing it. Okay, you're not making it to the real magic, because that's the manifestation, right? You have to understand that. So when I talk about and teach mesmerism and stuff, because I base everything around trance, because magic is about trance. It's about the mind. So when you start to learn about these aspects, I teach Lilith in the aspect of being the moon and being associated with night and the subconscious mind, the realm of sleep, and being the ruler of the tree of the Citra Aura, which is the tree of night and the realms of sleep and dreaming. Okay, when you start to understand that, then it's like, wow. Okay, if she represents the land of sleep and dreaming and night and all of that aspect, then this is where the demons can manifest. This is where those things can start to come through, because that's all imagination. And everyone dreams at night. So you know what it's like to dream and to try to bring those dreams into reality, or even feed the dream that you're having at night to have it become more vivid. Okay. That's what the tree of the Citra Aura is about. That's what Lilith is about. Opening the eye that sees in the dark, right? So when you understand that, then you can start to awaken the other various aspects of her Citra Aura. What do the other spirits and deities and stuff like that represent? And I break all of that down in demonism. So for those of you that don't have a copy of my new book, check it out. It is really, really amazing. I can't wait to start getting some feedback on the new book. I see people posting reviews about mesmerism, and I've seen stuff about Samhita. I'm glad you guys love those books. This book is really, really amazing. It's going to take things even to a higher level than what you experienced in the first two books. Okay, I tell you in my first books what the highest form of magic is, and that is sex magic. Okay, there is no higher form of magic than that. Sex magic is the highest magic because it is the only way to create life. Okay, there's no other way to do that. You can wave all the magic wands you want. You can say all the magic spells you want until you stick the P in the G and life doesn't happen. Okay, that's what makes life happen is sex. So there's no greater form than magic than that because life is the greatest magic. Once you realize that, that secret sauce is what creates the manifestation, then you can start to use that design, right? The understanding of that design to create a magical system that actually works for you. So you can start to manifest through that energy, okay, realistically, versus it just being a way of thinking, okay? Because there is a real energy, there is a real magical energy, and I talk about this a lot. People call it a lot of things. I want to call it gods and the gods and, Lucifer and hail Satan, and everybody calls it all kinds of shit. All right. The truth is it's an energy. It's not a deity. Okay. It's an energy, and we all can tap into this thing. It is within everything. It is the spirit and energy of life. It's the same thing. But it's been called a lot of things. Chi, life force, kundalini, you name it. Okay. I like to call it life force. Uraeus is what it was called in Kemet in ancient Egypt. But I like to call it life force. This energy is the magical power. It is the magical source. And you tap into it. The easiest way to tap into it is through sex. Okay. A lot of people have that after buzz after they have sex and they can't understand what that buzzing energy is. That's it. Okay. That's the energy. You have to learn to channel it and then increase it and control it. Okay, that is the secret to the magical powers. For those of you that don't understand, okay. So if you haven't signed up for my website or our website, demonism.org, check it out. The Life Force Power Series is on there. I teach you how to start to work with your energy. Okay. So with that said, I'm going to shut up and open up for a few questions. Okay. I've been on for about 20 minutes. I'll open up for a few questions. What's up, Donovan? Carlos, what's up? Dion, Megan, I see you guys. Any questions about anything, guys? About anything that I'm talking about? Let me find my tea because I have got the worst fucking cotton mouth because this is some fire ass buds. All right, lovely. Yeah, Carlos, you made it. Awesome. Okay, now I'm seeing comments. Donovan, damn, I've been messing out. We're doing a lot of new stuff. There's different people getting on the lives, not just me. Brand's doing a live tomorrow. Steven just did a live on Monday. So there's a lot of things going on, guys. So, sync up with us. Get in the group chat if you're not in there. Let me know. Drop a comment here if you want to get in there. And I'll make sure you guys get added in so we can all keep in touch, okay? Shout out to Vincent on the awesome review of Mesmerism. Thank you, sir. I'm glad you're having success. And if you do get a chance to watch this live later, because I don't see you on here right now, if you do get a chance to watch this live later, buddy, here's a great tip. Since you're having success with getting down and getting to trance states and stuff like that with the techniques that are inside the book, I highly suggest that you start to get the ritual set piece together, get a format together for the things that you want to do. Okay, so every time you do it the same way, the same 3 things or 4 things that you want to do your deep in states, get those set, and get them in place. Follow the instructions in the book as closely as possible, and keep practicing. Okay, practice, practice, practice. All right, practice makes close to perfect. All right, so cool, man. Shout out to Vincent out there. Um, cool. I'm not seeing any questions. Not a one. There's a wave. Cool. Also, be sure to check out the Etsy store. We have an Etsy store going. I've got the magic coins and stuff like that on there. I have these new ectoplasm pendulums. I'm trying to think of where the heck I put them at. So let's show those. I have these are super duper cool. They are all bundled together right now. I'll just check out one. I haven't started putting these up yet, but not in the Etsy store anyway. I've only sold them personally to a couple of folks, but these are really, really cool. These are ectoplasm pendulum necklaces. Let me pull one of these out so you can see it up close. These are really, really cool. So this little guy, and you can't see it now, but perhaps I will kill the light after it charges a bit. These little guys are actually glow in the dark. You can wear them like a necklace, and then when you get ready, you can do your pendulum work with it. These are really cool. So see if I can kill my light and show you how it glows. But these actually glow in the dark. It's kind of hard to do, but I'm trying to cover the camera so you guys can see it glow. That's funny. All right, but yeah, they glow in the dark, and they're really, really cool. And you can do your pendulum work with your necklace right anywhere, wherever you are. You always have something with you to divine with. Really, really cool. It may just contain the very essence of human life itself. Dion, I seen some of your technique on this new anime, Jujutsu Kaisen. I've never heard of it. I don't watch a lot of TV. I'm a very busy guy. I've got 4 kids, and I run a business, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I don't have a lot of TV watching time. The one where you watch a movie and pay attention to your emotions as they form various images and frequency of sound. Okay. I've been wanting to hear more about that and understand more about this, coinciding with the trance states you mentioned. So I think Dion is referencing TV magic, and this is or movie magic. I'm sorry, from my book Samita Diorum. I wrote a chapter called Movie Magic, and he's asking about the techniques that I mentioned in there. And one of the techniques, well, the main technique that you're supposed to learn, or the main thing you're supposed to learn with that technique, is how movies and music and art and stuff like that can affect your emotions, can affect your spirit being, right? People don't notice this, but it's something that happens on a real level. So your mind, your subconscious mind doesn't know, and I'm sorry about the plastic. Let me put this down. So your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between something that is pretend and something that is real. And that is an important thing to understand. It doesn't judge. Okay. Its job is not to judge and say, okay, this is pretend or this is real. It's just going to take in the stimulus. So if you sit down and watch a movie or something like that, something that's a real tearjerker, a real emotion getter, let me think of one that got a lot of people. Titanic, right? Oh man, you could just watch people cry when they watch Titanic, right? They get into the movie and it sucks them in, but you know damn well it's an illusion and it's pretend and it's actors and they're not really dying, okay? But when you watch it, right, the magic happens and it sucks your subconscious in, and the tears flow and you feel the emotion, and holy shit, why are they dying in the middle of the ocean like that, right? That is the concept behind the chapter on movie magic. It's going to teach you how that works, why that works, and how you can apply that same concept yourself to affect people in the real world. Okay? That's the point of the movie magic chapter. So it continues to build and help you understand those inner concepts. Carlos asked, when are you going to teach people how to create our own drop dead threads? I don't know if I will ever be teaching that, so I'm not going to lie. Uh, cool. But yeah, I will teach a lot of stuff. I mean, I'm going to teach a lot of stuff, a lot of my techniques that I use, a lot of stuff that I do, and whatnot. I will be teaching a lot of those things, but I'm not going to teach everything, okay? Because then I'd just be putting myself out of business, you know, to be honest. I'm also a performer, and I do a lot of stuff on stage and live for people. So being a theater performer, you know, if I create something that's original, you know, that's why we say stuff like, oh, don't record the show if you're here live, because then I can't continue to perform that thing over and over for people if everyone can just show it on their phone. Okay. So for instance, most people that do live shows have a promo. And on the promo, you see them do a couple of things, but when you get there live, they do something completely different because, you know, it's a live performance. And that's the concept behind that. If I do something, for instance, that I on the live that I also perform live, I probably won't teach those techniques and stuff like that, you know, because it's personal to me. Okay, it's personal to my family. I won't teach all my techniques. Who does that, you know? That's just the truth. I mean, I'm just gonna be honest. I mean, to my daughters, yeah, they'll all know how stuff works and you know how to do stuff, but not everyone is gonna know all our family secrets. um, so I hope no one's offended, and if you are, oh well. I don't know what to tell you about that one. Um, but I will be teaching some awesome stuff in there. So I do have ideas for a fourth and fifth book mulling around inside my brain, waiting to be born. So just a heads up on that. I want to see what happens with demonism first, because I really feel like that's a very, very strong you know, piece of authorship, you know, a piece of magic history, and people have not even begun to talk about it yet. So I kind of want to wait before I keep, you know, writing book after book. Michelle, my boy has learned so much from the movie Titanic. LOL, he can name every ship disaster and wants to build a time machine. That's great. That's awesome. Um, you know, actually at Zach Bagans' Haunted Museum in Las Vegas, they have a Titanic exhibit, you know, and you know, they do a real nice display and teach about the ships and talk about the souls of the Titanic and stuff like that. And they have stuff from the ship actually in there, so it's pretty cool. Um, awesome. So I'm not seeing too many more questions. Let me look up, see if I missed any. Um, so you wanted to know about Dion asked um how it coincides with the trance, how the movie magic coincides with the trance, because the movies are putting you in trance. That's how it coincides. Just in case you didn't get that in my speech the first time, it puts you in trance. So does music. All that stuff puts you into various hypnotic states or mental states. Of course, we know what they are. The various mental states: data, delta. Hold on, I'm getting pop slots on Brittany's phone. Sorry, delta, alpha, beta. You know, etc. So you're going through the various brainwave states. You don't need to know them verbatim. But if you want to learn them all, that's great. I break it down on the website. You can learn it all on there. Take notes if you want to be super nerd. But you don't need to know verbatim which state he's in. Like, oh, look, he's going down to theta. You know, ooh, it looks like he's in alpha. You don't need to know for sure which state it is verbatim and the name of that state. You just need to know effectively that the state is changing, and then attempt to control which state that they are going into. Okay. Break down how to do that very easily in very simple steps anyone can follow. Okay. So if you haven't read Mesmerism, The True Powers of the Witch, you are missing out. And if you have not checked out Semita Diorum, please grab a copy of that. And with that said, I'm not seeing too many more questions, but the messenger is going off. And I'm going to wrap it up, guys. Much love. Okay, much love. Be sure to tune in tomorrow, 8 p.m. for Brands Live on self-care. And I will see you guys in the next one.